It's very obvious that the whole point of impeachment was to prevent Trump from being able to run again. And the Democrats went all in on this, and so, of course, did their allies in the media. And the whole thing kind of imploded on them. It was kind of like a magic show. I almost envision a magic show where the magician is this kind of malevolent guy. He goes, yeah, here's my first trick, here's my second trick. And every time he does his tricks, there's a little kid in the audience who goes, I gotcha, I know how you did that one. Hey, listen, the money's still in your pocket. Hey, listen, when you put the smoke, that's when you took the staircase in the middle of the stage. Hey, you have an accomplice in the audience, that's how you pulled off that one. And the magician keeps getting angrier and angrier because he's busted every time by this annoying kid who catches him, you may say, in the act. And that's what it was like. The Trump lawyers were like, busted, busted, busted again. You're fixing the tweets and changing the quotes and editing the audio and putting out brazen lies. And so the whole thing became ridiculous. Now, what was so wonderful is that the American people could see it. They saw it for themselves, and the press had to show it. So just what I was hoping for, that the Trump attorneys would turn the tables, put the Democrats on trial, that's exactly what they did. But my point is, this whole enterprise from the left was driven because of fear of Trump. Fear of the return of Trump. Fear that Trump, like the Terminator, would be, I'll be back. Now, my question is, why are they so scared of him? You'd think that they wouldn't be. If they feel like, wow, we beat him fair and square this time. Gee, the guy is well into his 70s. He's going to be in his very late 70s in 2024. This guy is no threat at all. But they evidently don't think that. If they did, there would be no need for any of this, for this incredible effort. So they're scared of him, and it's very instructive to think why. Now, I think the answer to it is sort of twofold. The first is that Trump has figured out the way forward for the Republican Party. And that is for the Republican Party to be the party of the middle and the working class. Now, remember that Republicans have for decades kind of ignored the working class. They've done it in the names of sort of two theories. The neoconservative foreign policy theory that sends working people off to war, even though the people who send them off to war would never dream of going themselves. They're happy to dispatch other people to go fight in Iraq and Afghanistan, faraway countries. You come back with your legs blown off and without any arms, then we'll send some more to replace you if that happens. Second, a libertarian theory that focuses on globalization and the wonders of free trade, that is completely blind to the impact of that in decimating the working class at home and destroying whole communities. So this was, in fact, the MO, the defining feature of the Republican Party. And Trump went, no way. We're not sending those kids off to fight, and we're going to protect their economic interests. That's the real meaning of America First, that the jobs of Americans matter, and politicians should put some importance on that. The second thing about Trump is that Trump figured out that he didn't have to be scared of the left and of the media. Not only did he not have to be scared of them, he could fight back. He could attack them straight on. He's the first Republican president I've seen who looks the media in the face and ridicules them. And they don't expect that. They're deeply insulted. They're used to setting the parameters of the debate. They're used to saying, hey, Republicans, you've got to march between these two walls. You can't get outside the lines. And Trump went, try me. And so the left realized, you know what? We've got to teach this guy a lesson. We've got to reach into our grab bag and pick out our most deadly slingshots and fling them at him, and that will be the end of him. We're going to use sex scandals against him, and the way to do it is very easy. All we have to do is fish out a Stormy Daniels and go, hey, Mr. Trump, here's Stormy Daniels. And then we can go home and laugh because the Republicans will do what they always do, which is surround one of their own guys and knife him. The Republicans are the straight-laced party. They have no tolerance for this, so we, the left, can recruit virtue itself on behalf of vice. Except it didn't work in Trump's case. Hey, Mr. Trump, we got something for you. Yeah, what you got? Stormy Daniels. Ha, what else you got? And suddenly Trump, in a weird way, by lowering the bar, could just kind of nimbly jump over it. They couldn't get him. So then they decided, okay, well, we have one more kill shot that's even deadlier than that. and that is the accusation of racism. This is the accusation that can be counted to make every living Republican run for his life. And it always works. And we're going to use it on Trump. And we're going to call him the greatest racist of all time. He hates blacks. He hates Mexicans. He wants to put immigrants in cages. And they tried it relentlessly, unstoppably for 4 years. And guess what? Trump increased his share of the black and Hispanic vote. Trump had the big ha on them. And they can't believe it. They don't understand how Trump could do what no Republican has successfully done. And so the danger for the left is not just Trump coming back, but Trump teaching a lesson to the Republican Party. What if the Trump lesson is now picked up by Ron DeSantis in Florida, and Ted Cruz in Texas, and Josh Hawley in Missouri? What if suddenly they realize, number one, we should be the champions of the working class. Number two, we shouldn't be scared of the media. Let's give as good as we get. And number three, who cares if they throw the good old tired accusation of racism? It's all nonsense, and it's not going to hurt you if you don't let it. What if these Republicans pick up that lesson? This will be lethal for the left. They know it. This is, by the way, why they're working so hard to put pressure on Hawley, pressure on Cruz, pressure on DeSantis, pressure on all Republicans to disavow Trump. Because it is Trump that they fear, but even more what they fear is the Trump spirit, the Trump philosophy, which is the way forward and is in fact the path to success.